Well, good morning. It's Saturday morning live with Johnny Boy. As usual, I'm here. I'll never fail, never let you down for these live feeds. We've got a guest calling in this morning at 10:45. I hope there's no technical difficulties this morning. Excuse the microphone. We're trying to get a good sound. So if you can hear me, just let me know that the sound and the audio is working in sync and it's working right. So without any further ado, I don't know if, yeah, that's working by the looks of it on there, on the Rode microphone. We've got to have, it's so important to have good audio on these live streams. So we have got somebody calling this morning. It's going to be a surprise. I don't like telling you, I just want to keep you guessing. We've got 4 live viewers this morning. So welcome to Saturday Morning Live. And I'm looking outside now and it's not raining. How unusual that we haven't had any rain this morning. Mike Burke, what I need, if they can hear me out there, I need some glasses. I haven't got my glasses this morning. As usual, unlike the parachute regiment motto, un trunque paratus, which means ready for anything, I'm not ready this morning because I've been getting decorations in. It's getting that time of the year where Alison decides that she wants the decorations down from the lockup because there's that many. Yeah, the lockup. Decorations kept in the lockup. So I had to get the decorations up this morning to make sure she's got plenty to do this afternoon. And it's her birthday as well. 11 live viewers. Don't forget mine as you join the Saturday morning live. Just to give the channel a like. I'm going to try and get the live stream up now on... There we are. Let's see if we go live and I can actually see what people are saying. There we go. Let's turn the volume down on the end. I can actually see people's got 1 like. 11 viewers, 1 like. Hey, it's not a good start, is it, really? Come on, give it a like. We got Di Pigeon. Morning, Johnny, mate. Happy birthday, lovely lady. That's from Di Pigeon. Di, good to see you, bud. Matthew Potter, Silver Fox. Good to see you, Matt. I keep meaning to give you a ring and speak to you. Really appreciate your support over the last couple of years, and you're always there to help. Good to see Matt Potter join this morning, and Di David, my brother in arms, without a shadow of a doubt. I had a call off my brother this morning. I had a quick chat with him this morning. I don't know what's happening with the live stream this morning, but I can't seem to get. Let me just see if I can shut some of these down because I want to have a look. I don't know why everything's so slow. The internet just this week has been absolutely awful this week for whatever reason. There we are. It's 14 watching at the moment. Let's see if I can get it up. Don't know what's happened. We'll leave that run over just for a moment. I'm gonna. There we are. We can see who's joining now. I don't have to see what's on. Simon Stockwell. Morning, Johnny. Is it always best to seal the top of Indian sandstone after it's been laid? Maybe with a wet look. Not sure about the wet look, Simon. I think that what you could do is definitely worth sealing. Anything that reduces maintenance is always a good thing, but just think about the sealer that you're actually using on it. We've got Element Seal, which is local, which is Ryan, and you've got Floor Seal, Graham at Floor Seal up there in Yorkshire. You can actually speak to him about sealers. Sealers are so important, but the most important thing, whatever sealer you're using, whether it's a water-based or a solvent-based sealer, I always forget the word a solvent for some reason, but whether it's a solvent-based sealer or a water-based sealer, it's so important that you use a breathable sealer. Whatever they are, you need to use a breathable sealer. The thing is about water-based sealers is once you've sealed it, you can seal it within half an hour or within an hour, but you won't be able to seal it for some time after because water sealers repel water. It's as simple as that. Anyway, welcome to Saturday Morning Live. It's good to have you on here this morning. I love doing these live streams on a Saturday. It's just for an hour and it just helps to bring a landscaping community together as well as the consumer. If you're a consumer this morning, don't forget you can call in, or even if you're a landscaper. Good to see Jamie Way here this morning. Morning, Jamie. Good to see you, bud. Come and have a coffee. Come down and see me, mate. So what I was going to say is, I forgot what I was going to say. So welcome to Saturday Morning Live. It's good to see you all on here. I've said that once, but my head is absolutely spinning. When I come on do these live streams, I'm so pumped up about just getting you on here and bringing you guys together. And like I said, it doesn't matter whether you're a consumer or a contractor. everybody can take part in this live stream. 17 live viewers. We've got 6 likes. Come on, get on there. Hit the like button. It's good for the algorithms. Robin Bossard says, morning, John. Thanks for keeping our spirit up during this harsh weather. Yeah, it's awful, isn't it? It is awful. And do you know, Robin, I really, really appreciate that. I really appreciate you actually saying what you said then, because that's what these live streams are about. It's about keeping the spirit up and about all of us sort of working together. You know, this morning, as I'll move on to it a little bit rapid now, is that I called it the Dodgy Landscaper because there are dodgy landscapers out there. There are, without a doubt. And it's not good. We're not in a good place. But I suggest there's probably more dodgy landscapers than what there are good landscapers. Last week, speaking to John Ward, who was an absolute gentleman, I don't know if John's joined us this morning, was we spoke about successful patio laying and what is the success rate of patios installed. And John and I suggested that it's very poor in what's successful and what is not successful. And I'll get onto that a little bit later. But the Dodgy Landscaper, there's going to be a lot of landscapers out there at the moment because there are people getting laid off across the country, and almost this period that we're going through is almost like the pandemic when you had the COVID landscapers that just come along, and it wasn't always a good thing, was it? You know, that all of a sudden there's these people that say they're landscapers and they're not. But the fact is there are landscapers who say they are, and they're not really, because they're not really hitting the right buttons, are they, in the right places? It's not about attention to detail. It's not belts and braces, and that's what it's all about. For me, when I do what I do and when I share what I share, is I'm always questioning what I'm doing. I'm always questioning the industry as a whole, whether they are doing things right. And I don't think the industry, suppliers and manufacturers, aren't necessarily doing the correct thing. Let me just read. We've got Mario. Good morning, Mario. How you going, bud? Good to see you. Love having you regular guys on here. Good to see Mario. Mario's my friend. You can get natural look sealer, which I find looks nicer. There we are. So what Mario is referring to, I'm not sure who is Robin. Yeah, Robin says about the I think it was Robin. Someone said about the sealer. Yeah, and what Mario is saying, a natural look sealer. You don't want necessarily have a wet look all the time. You want to look at your paving and think it's going to change in the weather conditions, and that's the good thing about it. Keep it natural. You know, just as anything, when it gets wet, it gets wet. When it dries, it dries. Don't just have the wet look. But that's personal preference. It's entirely up to you. It's not always a good thing, is it? Mr. Tidy Garden, morning guys from Ireland. It's great having the guys from Ireland on here. I absolutely love it. They're great guys, honest. They're straight, they're honest, and they're very poetic in their whole approach about life. So good morning to anybody this morning calling from Ireland. Good morning to anybody actually joining the live stream this morning. It's Saturday morning live with Johnny Boy. We have got a guest at 7:45 who's going to be calling, an interesting guest, a very intelligent, intellectual, very kind guest as well, and be good to have him on here. Handy Groundworks from Liverpool. All is good. Just let you know, it is Alison's birthday. There we are, as if by magic. Good morning.
Good morning.
I recognise that voice.
Yeah, I suspect so. Morning, John. How are you?
Good morning, Matt. How are you? Just let me just introduce you. So now this morning we've got Matt Williams from Style Paving, and let me just point out this moment, this is not paid content. I've got Matt on here this morning because he can deliver, and hold on, we've got the birthday girl just coming in. You know, there we are. There you are. She's interfering.
Alison.
Hi Matt, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Matt. Alison was just making some final adjustments on the audio there to make sure that you could be heard loud.
I take it, John, you've made your delightful wife breakfast this morning.
No, not at all. Not at all. The thing is, what you got to remember, young Matthew, is I can call you young Matthew, not being sarcastic, but I am without doubt an absolute star with Alison. Every day is a birthday.
Mm.
So, Matt, without any further ado, can you explain who you are, where you're from, and what you've been doing?
Yeah, sure. So, Matt, and live in North Oxfordshire. And I've recently started up a business, as you said, called Style. And we operate online, and we've also installed a new show garden up in North Oxfordshire, and we operate across the whole of the UK selling porcelain paving.
Yeah,
we only deal in porcelain, which is a sort of key differentiator from us and other people who are in that market. We believe that, it's a great material. I've dealt with it all of my working life. I used to run a business called Tops Tiles, which I'm sure listeners would have heard of, and which was founded by my father. And then we went on to list the business on the London Stock Exchange. So had a lifetime in the tile market, really, and was really excited to see porcelain moving outdoors and all of the advantages and features and benefits that the material can bring to outdoor spaces for people, really. So yeah, very excited. We've been going now 9 months. I think it's just 9 months, and it's been everything that I expected a startup to be, which is real highs and more difficult months, but overall been a really fantastic experience.
Matt, let me just explain to some of our viewers that are actually joining us this morning. We've got 20 live viewers at the moment. What I can see, we've got 10 likes. That is so important that they hit the like button because YouTube like that. Matt, without a doubt, you've actually built a fantastic business before, and you're building another business now. But I think the thing about you are really approachable, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. We're all people in the end, aren't we? So, very much so. And actually, one of the things that I've really enjoyed about sort of getting back to the coalface, if you like, of actually running a business and doing a startup is actually interacting with customers. And, I just love the whole sort of serving people and
because you must
helping them make the best they can do.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to interject, Matt. And what I'm also going to do, I'm going to read some of the comments out now at the moment, just to let you know what's happening. We got Mr. Tidy Gardens from Ireland. He says, Johnny, I've started up my own channel again. My dad passed away this year, age 58. He was also a gardener. Andy Groundworks wishing Alison a birthday. And look, there's lots of comments coming in now. But the thing is, Matt, I think that's the thing about you. You've really built something massive. I'm going to mention again about Top Tiles. It was huge, wasn't it? How many stores across the country was it that you actually did?
I think we ended up on around 330 or something like that. It's been scaling back a little bit now because the online has become such that you don't need as many stores as you once did.
No.
But no, listen, I'm very sort of proud of what was created at Tops, and I'm a small part of it. You're the figurehead of these things, but it's all about the people that are involved in these businesses, really.
Yeah.
And
So
the culture that someone creates, really, you can't. It's certainly not down to one person at all. What the success or otherwise of these companies. But no, Tops has a special place in my heart, really, in terms of businesses and. I genuinely hope it goes on to do very well indeed.
Yeah, we even wish it all the best now, and also we want to wish your business all the best. But I think the thing that's blatantly obvious with you, Matt, it's very humbling having you on here this morning, and I really appreciate your time because you probably don't realise the benefit that you actually give the landscaping industry and also the consumer as well, because you have a lot of people that come to see you in your display area, and you had a lady the other week who'd had a really bad experience with contractors, I believe.
Yes, we did. What was the name? I'll remember her name in a second.
You said she was this real sweet lady.
Very sweet lady. Yeah, she's been very badly let down by builders predominantly, and who. Someone came along and started building the conservatory that she's had done, because they didn't underpin it, that it needed
That's not
and
not good at all. Not good.
you know, and bless her, she really hasn't been lucky with on the landscaping side of things. Just in terms of finding, I know everyone's busy at the moment, and it's very difficult to get hold of the labour for these customers. So yeah, she's finding it very difficult. But she was so I can't tell you how upbeat she was, no matter how much she'd sort of been through the wars in terms of getting this project off the ground. She's just the sweetest lady.
So a sweetest old lady, but a real warrior in the respect of being really resilient and sort of putting up with this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, do you feel that because you've come from that delegating area and giving instructions and organising
Yeah.
that and being on the coalface, do you feel that you're really more in tune with what's going out there in the landscaping world now?
In terms of compared, yeah, well, definitely. Listen, when you're a CEO of a relatively big business like Tops, then yeah, you do become detached. There's no doubt about it. You have to delegate. There's no way that you could do everything otherwise. So yeah, that's it. I sort of think of it as a completely different sort of career and role, really, to the one that I'm doing now. I've always fancied a startup for my sins, and you know, it's been great fun to sort of actually stop talking about it and get on and do it. And I think, you know, like any of these things, you can keep on saying you're going to do X, Y, or Z until the cows come home, but actually the best thing to do in that situation is to get on and do it, because you know you've only got one life, haven't you? And you need to make sure that you do what you want to do.
Absolutely. I'm just responding to some of the people on here. We've got Stan joining us this morning from Aberystwyth, and Mr. Tidy Garden says, even though there is sarcasm. Matt, I need my glasses. The market in regards to skilled workers, we must keep our standards tip top and jobs to secure future employment. What advice would you give, Matt, when we talk about belts and braces and attention to detail? Is this something that what we've done in the past, having attention to detail, is going to get us through the future because people know about our reputation? Yeah.
I mean, my bigger experiences of the internal market, and what we saw in sort of 2008, 2009, was that the guys who were focused on quality in terms of fitting inside were definitely the ones that came through that period the best, and actually thrived, really, because there was what they called a flight to quality.
What was it called, Matt? Sorry, what was it?
They said it was a flight to quality.
Right. Okay.
And so people basically flocked to the people who were offering quality. And actually, what we found which I think we're going to see actually in the outdoor market, was that whereas in 2008 and 2009 we thought that everything was going to get really boring inside, and that people were going to go for the lowest cost option.
Right.
And, you know, it was going to be plain white tiles or beige tiles. And actually what we saw was completely the opposite. It was as if people were saying, listen, if I'm doing the job, I'm going to do it properly. And I'm not going to, you know, scrimp and save. And, you know, actually because I'm less likely to be moving house in the near future, I'm actually going to make it something that I really want to look at. And, you know, we saw lots of colour coming through, lots of pattern coming through.
Yeah, Matt.
And I think we're just starting to see. Something similar outside, actually.
Yeah, Matt. I'm just going to read what somebody says, and I've got a point I want to make. Key Mason Building says landscaping. He says there is no standards in the AU zone. Best is by standards and the Irish, but the rest of the world do crazy things. Not by I meant by standards, typo, error, no problem at all. Matt, look, when I look back at the 80s, when I was landscaping in the 80s, when we look at, and this is what I want to ask you about the thing is at Tops and what you're doing now with Styled. We've got to mention Styled. It's not about Tops, but it's interesting for me about the Tops, about how you do your market research, about what's going to trend. And you just touched upon that, and what people were doing. And then when I look back in the 80s, we had a lot of concrete products, and what natural stone that we did have was massively expensive at the time. So what we've had limited product ranges in the past, but now it's almost like the marketplace, it seems like a lady's handbag is full of accessories. They've got everything in a lady's handbag, from keys to passwords and to makeup to sweets, anything to, you know what I'm saying. And that's the thing about the landscaping industry now. There's copious amounts of products that are available. How do you as a company decide what's going to be good, or or are you tailoring for people's needs, or are you making this up as you go along and thinking they will like this? How do you do it?
Well, I think that in terms of pattern and colour, I think that because outside you've got also the planting to add colour and interest to, whereas you haven't got that same level inside. So, but my big thesis on the whole market is that there's going to be more colour and more pattern coming outside, and I think that you can partially look to the inside of people's homes to see how that could potentially develop outside. I think that the lines between indoor and outdoor are being blurred.
Matt, look, I'm going to pick up on what you said there about the inside and the outside. But when we look at a tile, and people want to extend that outside because that's what they like. There's the indicators. So whoever the designers and the architects that start deciding that what's trending, what's good, is usually from the inside, and then it gets taken outside. And certainly when we look at colours but can you, as a company, because we're all sort of emulating, I suppose is the word I'm looking for, or not copying, but emulating some of the other brochures or some of the other paving companies. But would you be brave enough to say, as a company, hey, look, guys, I think this is looking fantastic. This is the sort of product that you want to get in front of your customer.
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, I mean, listen, we're bringing products to market that haven't been available in the UK. So I think a great example of that is the Cavendish range that we've got, which is the cobbles, which has gone down an absolute storm actually with landscapers who, and garden designers who just haven't seen anything like this before. So this is we've got this in at the moment 2 colours. There's a 3rd colour on the way, but the terracotta is an incredible sort of reproduction of real terracotta tile, but with none of the problems that go with terracotta. So terracotta
because of the porcelain, the impervious product is yeah.
It's a bit of a nightmare. It's a beautiful product, but it's a bit of a nightmare. So we've basically combined all the features and benefits of porcelain with the look of terracotta, and it's an incredible product. So yeah, we're very keen to sort of lead the market and think about how porcelain can be really used outside to its maximum potential, which is huge, which is absolutely ginormous, and it's stunning.
As your board of directors, Matt, do they sit down and do you all go through this process of deciding what's good and what is not good?
Not so much as a board of directors. And listen, I think that we've got people who there's lots of experience within the business in terms of tiles, and we've got some very strong relationships with suppliers. So the suppliers are good at, because lots of what you see also in terms of trend comes from the commercial sector as well. Things like hotels and things like that tend to be ahead of the curve, and there's lots of times that you can take inspiration from what you're seeing in the commercial sectors and bring that to the domestic environment, because we all end up going to hotels, if we're lucky enough, and at some stage in the year, and actually seeing things abroad or within hotel settings that we think actually that would really work for me and at home.
Matt, I
think that what you're also seeing is this proliferation of sort of outdoor kitchens as as well, which is further blurring that line between indoor and outdoor.
Matt, you've got 25 live viewers at the moment. I want to read some of the comments that's coming through. Let me read them, and then we'll go back to where we are. So just hold that thought for a moment. Thank you very much. Handy Groundworks Lee says, "Have Style got a reputable?" He says, "Has Style got a reputable landscaper scheme?" And that was what I was going to ask you. We'll get back onto that in a moment. A landscaper scheme. Key Masonry Building in Ireland says, "I'm sick of running architects off the job as they're getting worse as the years go on." Tidy Garden says, the back garden now is an extra room onto the home, especially after lockdown. People really appreciate outdoor spaces now." Mario, you know our Mario, don't you? Our Mario Ritzy, he says, "Do you think that we tend to lead the client for cheapest range to get the order?" And then we've got Tidy Garden says, let me have a look now what's coming in. He says, "A lot of younger architects coming out of college would not know how brush from a shovel fella." Is that true, Matt? Do you think sometimes some of these architects don't really understand the grassroots and going back to basics, or do they? So, well, let's just, in respect of Lee's question, do you have a reputable landscapers scheme, Matt, and would you consider one?
Well, we don't at the moment, and we certainly would consider one. At the moment, if we're being asked for, can we point anyone in the right direction, we're actually coming to the group, John, in terms of the landscaping survival group. So,
yeah.
We think that we're very happy to be a member of the group, and, we'll feed back any business that we can back into the group. So,
I would like
in time, in time we would look to. I think if our customers wanted it, then we would certainly look to do that.
I think if I can be so bold to offer a man of your caliber some advice, I would say to have a list of not necessarily favourable landscapers, I would say, because obviously at the end of the day is that, recommendations can actually go pear-shaped sometimes, but obviously what we want to try and do is we want people to tick the boxes in many ways, because you may be a good landscaper, but you may not be the perfect diplomat, I would say, rather. And I think sometimes that's where things fall foul in the landscaping industry, is that contractors may be good at what they do, but not necessarily very good with diplomacy, are they?
Yeah, but potentially. Listen, I mean, it's in terms of the skill set is broad and varied, isn't it? If you're a landscaper, you're running a business as well as actually fitting product.
Yeah, Matt. I'm going to bounce around because I like to bounce around, going back to things, because it's as and when people are joining the live stream. Is that, let's go back to that terracotta thing. So years ago, you used to have these terracotta styled products, and they were normally outside the front door, weren't they? Like, in some respects in the UK, but they're quite problematic, aren't they? Because they'll soak up moisture as well, won't they? But you've got a product now. So you've got a product that's porcelain that looks like terracotta.
Terracotta, but literally the name means baked earth. And there's nothing that it's completely porous, effectively. So if water gets in and it freezes, it will crack.
Yeah.
Or if red wine gets into it, you won't get it out.
So
it's gone into the actual body of the clay.
Let me just ask a question. What was it called again, Matt? What does it mean, terracotta?
Baked earth.
Based earth. And so we're talking about a product that will soak all the moisture up, and it causes problems, like you said. It can stain, etc. But you have a porcelain product now that looks like terracotta.
Exactly. So which looks exactly the same as looks like aged terracotta, and really, I recommend people go onto the website and have a look. It's quite an incredible product.
Yeah.
The difference with that is that basically it's pressed at higher pressures and it's baked at higher temperatures, such that the actual body of the tile is basically impervious to water.
Yeah.
No water's getting in.
Matt.
So that really creates all of the features and benefits
Matt, it's great having you on here this morning, but I'm so excited to respond to what you're actually saying, obviously, and I want to read people's comments out, but it's quite exciting to think that now they have a product that they can produce that starts ticking the boxes and avoiding the problems that this country, because, you know, we have copious amounts it's very wet here, isn't it?
Yeah. And we've got the range of temperatures as well, which makes it, you know, if you get any water inside products, I mean, you know, it's very difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to read some of the comments now, Matt, so you can see what I'm actually putting up with this morning off our little community here. Key Mason Building Landscaping. It's so important to read these comments out because that's what makes this channel. Too much Chiefs and not enough Indians. Nobody makes a decision. I'm a qualified bricklayer. Let me just... he says, I'm a qualified bricklayer over 30 years and same things all the time. Sick of Life says, good morning, sorry he's late. And then Tidy, let me see what Mr. Tidy says. I take my college lads with me in the summer to give... Let me just trying to read. It's just the comments coming through, Matt, and it just disappears. Which is ideal experience for young architect. Get him shoveling. 8:04 for the day. We've got... Yeah, Gary joined us this morning, and Mario says hi. He says he wants to sort of see those porcelain products. Do you think we can get like a link, Matt, at some point on this video after of that porcelain, that terracotta product? Because I've seen it laid. It looks amazing. What sort of gaps are we looking at, Matt? The joints between that product.
Well, it's very much down to taste, really. I mean, it's got a rustic edge to it rather than a sort of rectified edge. So
that's
I don't know if your listeners understand, but basically rectified just means that they've trimmed the tile after it's come out of the kiln.
Exactly, isn't it?
And lots of people like that look, and you know, it's quite a sort of precise, clinical look. But what I'm quite excited about is, if you could get excited about such things as edges, is the sort of more rustic looks and actually making it look more like stone. Actually, so we've got the look of stone, but with all the benefits of porcelain.
Yeah, Matt, just to let you know that our little community now, they're all talking to each other at the moment. So they're having conversations. We've drawn them in. They're talking to each other, and that's what it's all about, which is absolutely fine. But I actually like that look, that rustic look still, but you still have the benefits of that non-pervious product. Matt, a question I want to ask you, you know, if you were looking for a contractor to do some work for you, how would you go through the process? Just to say you wanted a new patio, what would you do personally to decide if, you know, to find a contractor? What would you do? What would the questions you'd be asking?
It's a very good question, John, because I'm actually looking outside on my my patio, which is to my shame sandstone, and it's covered in sort of green mold, and sort of it's basically like an ice rink out there.
Right. Okay.
So we've been meaning to sort of get in and get it changed for some time now, which I'm really keen to actually get stuck in, and you know, I don't claim to be a landscaper, but I'd like to experience what it's like to actually sort of stay on the tools and have a go. I'll definitely be employing someone to do it, and I suppose I go to sort of recommendations and sort of people you know locally, and people who come with good reputation.
Yeah, we've got a question of Gary Lemousier, if I said that correctly. Gary is in Jersey. He says, Johnny, can you ask Matt if he has sent any porcelain to Jersey?
I have, yeah. We've had a number of customers in Jersey actually, and we're just doing a link up with a social media influencer out on the island of Jersey as well, who's got quite a big following. But no, we're very keen to do more with Jersey.
Yeah, Key Mason Building said Key Mason Building says, Gary, it will cost a lot on transport. But then again, you see, Matt, if you want a product that you feel that's going to tick the boxes, you know, the cost of the transport is just part of the package, isn't it? Really?
Well, it is, and I think that I think that where people need to sort of, I think Mario mentioned, you know, are we sort of selling the? I think there's one of Mario's comments earlier, which is, are we sort of pushing people down to the sort of lower end of the market? I think there is a risk of that, and I think that you know, when customers take on these projects, I think we need to be realistic that the main element of the cost for the customer is labour. And actually, you know, if you think about the difference between, you know, our entry level product at £30 a square metre or just under, and, you know, something which is more towards our upper end of the range of sort of, you know, the product that we sent you, John, the 60 by 120 product that we sent you the other day, was,
Yeah.
I think 55.
She loved them.
£55 a metre, and, you know, maybe £60 a metre. I mean, it's in the grand scheme of things, you know, where that extra cost is going to sit in the total cost of the project, I think is quite minimal, really. I mean, and this comes back to the point I was making earlier, which is, I think what we're going to see is that people are going to say, well, if I'm doing it, I want to do it properly, and actually I want to do something that's going to last, because I'm probably staying put for longer than I thought. And I think that, you know, porcelain is an incredible product which can really sort of transform those outside spaces, really.
Matt, stay with me a moment, because I want to keep you here, because we've got 28 live viewers. The people are obviously enjoying you talking this morning. You've added a little bit of flavour to the show this morning. So we've got Key Mason Landscaping again. He says, Gary, it will cost a lot. Mario says he can come round and pressure wash your patio for you, Matt. No charge at all. It's there, up on there now. Steve says, nothing wrong with sandstone. I have it in my garden. I'm well posh. I even get out of the bath for a wee. Oh, God. Morning, John. It's Lewis is on here this morning. Business is all about budget, right? And material cheap and profits are made. Mario says, Matt, do you get a lot of inquiries for samples?
Yeah, we do. So we do samples, and they are free for our what we call our trade customers, our landscape customers, who've got accounts with us. And yeah, just a quick plug: everyone can go on and join, if you haven't already got your invite to join and have an account with us.
Yeah.
Offers lots of benefits and things, but yeah, one of those benefits is you get free samples. And our cut samples are a bit bigger than most. You see these sort of uni 10 by 10, which don't really give you a good idea.
Matt, I'm going to
do a 10 by 15. But also just on the full size samples, we're also very happy to add on a full size sample of whatever anyone wants on another order with us, in a similar way to that which we did with you, John, on your most recent project. We're very happy to put full size samples on all orders for each project, because we do understand that it does make a big difference with customers seeing the full size product.
Yeah, look, lots of comments coming in now. Apparently, Mario is not gonna. He's going to charge you. He's not going to not do it for nothing. So if he comes around, he will charge you. Steve says, where in the country are you? Styled or based in Banbury near Oxford. David Tyrrell says, has Brexit affected your supply? Yeah, so lots of, and I need sample sending, says Lewis. Mario Ritchie says, we are based in Bedford. Look, just to let you know, Matt, for me as a contractor, and I know I'm a genius and I'm very handsome genius, but also I am a contractor and I go and see customers. And the fact is, showing that Denise, our client, it's all booked in now, showing her those full-size samples made a massive difference. How can you tell? Any of you watching this live stream this morning, any of you contractors across the country, what I would suggest, right, is if there is a product, and Matt's going to help me out with this in just a moment, if there is a product to any of you out there at the moment that you like, that you feel that you're going to maybe have repeat business with that type of product because you feel that it's trending, what I would suggest is obviously get a sample ordered and take it out to your customer. It's good to have that sample that you can move from one customer to another customer. So Matt, so you could get full-size samples out like you did for me on the back of the other order that we placed the other day.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely impractical to have it just send out a full-size sample on its own. It just doesn't make any sense, John, really. But yeah, if the best thing to do is that if you've got an order in with us for your current project and you've got something in mind for a future project, just let us know and we can pop on the full-size sample on that order.
Look, I think my message is to any of you contractors watching this morning, anybody who watches this later on this live stream, I would say that just get some full samples. Don't take those little samples out. It doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for, I don't think it works for customers, but who am I to say? Robin Bossard says, Matt, do you send some of your products to Ireland? I have an amazing supplier here. I'd love him to have some of your products too. Well, I can assure you, Robin, Matt has a wide range of products, and certainly I haven't seen anybody doing those porcelain, the terracotta styled products. The more range of products, the better, in my opinion, says Robin. Every customer's need a tailor-made garden. Poor management by the government didn't help Brexit prices, and Mario says samples seem to be the way forward. Matt, let's keep with this sample thing at the moment, right? So if let's just say, for instance, a contractor watching this live stream after wanted one of those sort of, he's gone online, he's looked at something, or he's looked at a video that I've done and said, look, can you get me one of those 1.2s by 600s up to me? What would it cost him, Matt? Seriously, come on, let's just have it now from the horse's mouth.
In terms of how much, so the product itself, probably, in terms of real cost to us, probably £100.
£100, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, look.
And depending on where it is in the country.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a cost line that we want to offer the best value to our customers, and someone's got to pay for it in terms of
of course they have. Of course they have. Yeah,
moving stuff around. So that's where we're coming from with the idea. Well, if there's an order already going out, we're very happy. We're very happy to stomach the cost of the tile itself and add it to an order that's already going out. That's nice and simple. We can do that, no problem whatsoever. But if people want to have a conversation with us that says, they really want to work with us and they want to get some full-size samples out, we're happy to look at that.
Matt is one for you, right? As contractors, we tend to know what our block paving are and what our slabs are, but because there are copious amounts of different styles of paving out there at the moment, right, which is absolutely incredible, the amounts out there, it's so hard to actually remember the names and where these products come from. Now, slowly, I am getting to know your products a little bit, but what happened the other night when I took out those 3 samples of the 1.2 by 600, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to do a little video and ask you what each one of those are called.
Yeah.
So I think that you and I at some point, we need to do some videos and get the products out there, the names of the products, and actually talk about them, just so people can actually see a close-up on video, because it's always hard to choose from a brochure, and it's always hard to choose from a website, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it is. And actually, it's difficult anyway, because even with a full size sample, you're seeing one tile out of potentially 20 that are in that design. In a similar way to stone, if you pick out a piece of stone, you're never going to see another one like it.
Yeah, Steve there says sick of lies. He said his supplier gave him a nice little sample case, but then again, you see, I see a lot of companies out there across the country will have these little sample case and like a little 100mm by, or whatever, 75 by 75. But I just don't think that it's enough. It's a start. I suppose it's a start to show a customer a little bit. But it's funny, my customer the other week, Matt, she'd actually gone somewhere else and picked up a small sample. And then when I took one of your samples, I didn't take one, Matt. I took about I took about 14 slabs up there and
Yeah.
tiles, and I laid them out on the floor. And she said, "Look, John," she said, the dark one that you brought, that's what we were thinking of." She said, "But in this garden, it's not going to work," because she's seen it in full size, Matt. That was the thing about it. She's seen it in
Yeah.
full size. So I think there's a real benefit about seeing the real size and touching and being tactile with the product, isn't it?
Yeah, in situ. I mean, listen, when we started the business, we had all sorts of ideas about sort of mobile showrooms or how can we bring the product round to people and sort of things like that, and which we may well come back to. But at the moment, I think the best way to make it work is a cut sample to kick things off. But actually, I'm more and more coming around to the thinking that you probably need a full-size sample to really sort of cement that thing with the customer.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, when are you going to allow me to come up to Styled and sort of showcase your products to the people that watch this channel? When's it happen? Don't say next year. We got to do it now because life goes on. We need to be proactive.
No, listen, I'm here whenever you want to come up, John. We need to have our Christmas bevy anyway before we all break.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Tidy Garden says he gets his client to visit the supplier. So you have quite a substantial, I've seen it, I've worked on there with you, quite a substantial show garden, don't you, Matt, for people to come round and walk round and have a look, haven't you?
Yeah, we do. And it's in a village we're on a farm in a village, Colworth, just north of Banbury. And actually we've had some really decent customer flows coming through there, and people very impressed and very happy to sort of transact with us after they've seen it in situ and in that sort of quantity. But it's wonderful. Yeah, we're outside and the whole show garden's outside, and you can get to see the full range of products, and customers have been very impressed with it.
Yeah, absolutely, totally. I think that's just the best way to do it. I think what we need to do, Matt, is get it down on video and show it and showcase it, and just have a little walk round and have a look at some of the products on the floor and actually talk about it. And because just to be honest, Matt, just to catalogue and remember the names, because as you know, it's like a farmer with its sheep. They know all the names of the sheep, don't they? Like, and you need to know your product. You know, you need to know what the product is called and how it's made. Matt, also not last year, probably about 2 years ago, I can't even remember when COVID was, that we were still working as contractors because we weren't coming in contact with our customer, and I was using a porcelain product that, quite frankly, it was very poor in respect that it was bizarre. It just seemed to soak the water up, of all things, and it was porcelain. So how good is the Italian and the Spanish porcelain in comparison?
Yeah, I mean, listen, most factories around the world actually use German and Italian machinery to produce tiles. So, but actually, I still think the Italian, and my experience is still the Italian and the Spanish who are the best at producing porcelain.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's something where someone can talk you through the process very quickly, which is that you press the biscuit, you bake it, and you think, oh, this is easy. Why aren't more people doing it? But actually, it's quite difficult to really control how that clay reacts to the kilning process, and to really control the whole process. There is an art to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Italians and the Spanish are the best.
Right, Matt, look, I'm loving this morning, but what we need to do is I'm going to change the direction a little bit of this conversation. If you was giving some advice to a contractor at the moment to sort of keep themselves in the right place, can you sum it up, not necessarily in a few words, but just explain to us what you would be doing if you was a contractor and you wanted to get that profile and you wanted to improve your business? Come on, Matt, fire away. Let me hear it from you.
Well, listen. I thought that your guest that you had last week was from an actual sort of contractor's point of view.
John Ward, John Ward.
Quality's high, was spot on, and stand firm on your pricing and continue to offer value and quality. only to add to that would be actually, I think that what we're going to find if things do get tougher is that people are going to be looking for more from their outdoor projects, i.e. that they're going to be looking to introduce things that actually make their project stand and something that they can be really proud of, whether that's colour, pattern, or, you know, whatever it is, but adding value in ways through products that they potentially haven't looked at before.
Well, just
And
yeah,
I think that's part of this trend of, as one of your listeners put it, their outside is now another room.
yeah, absolutely. I think so, 100%. And I just think that what we need to do is, I think you can offer more in many ways, and you can offer sometimes a little bit more information about the products that you're actually doing, which actually can actually be the tipping point whether your customer is going to go with your product and what you're doing as a contractor, as opposed to another contractor. Mario Ritchie says, am I invited to the Christmas party? He said he can clean the patio at the same time. And he also says Italians are good at porcelain, but not good at the football at the moment. Key Mason building, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I don't know what they're talking about there. Robin Bossard says, Mr. Tidy Gardens, I've seen your channel. Good stuff. Their patio in the winter is the best. Oh, there's a lot going on here. I'm just amazed at the moment with Matt, what I thought you've done this morning, but they all seem to be talking to each other and we're having the conversation. They're ignoring us. No, they're not. They're enjoying the channel. They're enjoying the channel. Matt, you've given some advice to the consumer, the contractor to keep busy. What would you say to the consumer in respect of if they're thinking about having a garden done now? Obviously, the winter is always a challenge, without a doubt. But also, sometimes consumers believe, and I believe, that consumers think that things are going to get cheaper because people are desperate for work. But good contractors are never desperate for work, are they?
No, I don't think it will get cheaper. As I said, the vast majority of these projects are mixed up in labour in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that people who continue to offer quality and value, you know, I think will continue to do well in the new year. I think what we're seeing is definitely, from an economic perspective, we've definitely seen a slowdown in the amount of money being spent on the inside of homes. I think what will become apparent in the new year, when people normally sort of start to focus on the outside towards spring, is just how well the outdoor market is in comparison to the indoor market. So yeah, the indoor has definitely taken a downturn. But I think that the outdoor in the past has not had as much focus from the consumer as the inside, and maybe there's a rebalancing going on now.
Yeah, look, I think there is. I think things are just a little bit crazy and just a little bit all over the place at the moment. But I think it will settle down, and I think that when we look at HS2 is still, as a project, is still going on, and we look at these big projects, and it will sort of filter down to the lower projects. Like there's big investment at high levels in different areas when it comes to HS2, and they haven't sort of slowed it up. I think there's a massive project.
It's right next door. It's right next door to us, actually.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that what's happened, Matt, they've actually sort of consumed a lot of the labour force up, and there's a big project going on in Germany at the moment. Not Germany, between Denmark and Sweden. They've started this tunnel. It's one of the largest tunnels in the world, Matt. And what it's going to do, it's going to actually consume a lot of labour across the country. And I think that what you'll find is that contractors in this country will, without doubt, need work. And there is work out there. I think we just got to knuckle down. We got to sort of tidy our ship and just polish our shoes and make sure that we just head in the right direction and keep being proactive and doing something to keep on top of our game. We just can't sit on our laurels. With this. No. Just got to read out.
Fortune will always favour the doers, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. James Gallagher says, I Googled style in Banbury and the website was top of the listings. So that's good that he actually says, what's the biggest tile he supplies off Lee? What's the biggest tile you supply, Matt? Because I like those 760s by 760s at the moment.
I think they're a great trade from the 60 by 60, the 76 squares.
Oh yeah, massively.
But the biggest ones we do are the 6120s at the moment. We are looking at the 120 by 120 squares, but they're a hell of a piece of kit. I mean, that's definitely a two-man lift, even for a strong chap like you, John.
No, I say what, Matt, right? You know, the problem is with it, when you're laying them down and you have to stretch your legs over, my legs, I'm not a giraffe. I'm literally more like a chimpanzee trying to straddle across those slabs sometimes. But we started to lay those 760s, Matt, and they're looking really good. I mean, they're spot on. And the funny thing, I took the 760 to Denise, our customer, and she looked at the 160s, the 120, the 1200s by 0.6, and she liked them, and that's what she wanted. But I don't know if she's edging towards the other ones now. I don't know. I'm not gonna. It's for her to make those decisions. As long as I show her what's going on. But we're gonna have probably about 10 or 15 meters down on Monday at my friend Richie's. We're doing a project for him at the moment, and they're looking good. I've laid the first row down from A to B, nice and square, and it's our benchmark, the start of the garden. So how we go, like so. Look, Matt, it's great being having you on here this morning. I've listened. I've wanted to butt in, and we've had good conversation, and that's what it's about. It's not just about.
Great.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. It's not just.
I've loved seeing the chat on the side as well. It's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. If I don't know if you've been seeing it. It's quite some of the things they're saying. Unfortunately, I'm going to say it, Matt. I'm such a plonker sometimes. I forgot my glasses this morning. I'll forget everything. But I've got to get back to Alison because I've got to give her my attention today. She needs my help because I'm the one that really puts the Christmas tree together. She thinks she does, but I'm always there in support with her 4,000 lights. And she tells me that these 4,000 lights on the Christmas tree doesn't consume any more energy. And I beg to differ.
Yes.
Well, there you are, Matt. Matt Williams from Style, thank you very much for joining this morning. If you can get maybe a couple of links up on this video after in the comments, that'd be very much appreciated.
I'll be happy to, yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah. Okay, cheers, John.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, bro. Bye.
Well, there you are. That was Matt Williams from Style. And the good thing about having Matt on, it's not just all about the paving. He just wants to give some advice and help the consumer and the contractor and head in the right direction. Make sure that you tick all those boxes where you need to tick them. It's been great this morning, to be honest, watching everybody, Key Mason building and Mr. Tidy Garden, Sick of Lies, and Mario on there, and Robin as well. Great having the guys from Ireland joining this morning, and you can see the conversations going on. Really, really appreciate it. It was good to see. It just goes to show the value of these live streams and what they can do, because it brings communities together. We've retained our audience this morning, over 20, 25, 26. We've got 19 likes, which is good. It's not bad at all. But the show goes on. We will, without doubt, keep the Saturday morning live show going. If you've got any ideas of how the show should run in the future, I'd like to hear off you. I want to hear about your ideas, and maybe somebody can come up with a title for next week, and somebody comes up with a good title, or if somebody wants to be a guest, let me know. Tidy Garden says, great stream, John, great community. Absolutely. Listen, Mr. Tidy Garden, thank you very much for joining this morning. It's been intriguing, it's been funny, it's been great looking at all the comments on here. And don't forget, guys, please don't forget. Steve, good to see you on here, bud, this morning. Mario, I've got a slab lifter. His name is Anthony. Yeah, love it. If you can actually, all of you guys, that I know you've given a like this morning, but maybe you can get on and just please, all of you guys that have been involved this morning, just comment on the video when it's up later on. You still comment as it's loading, and just the comments will go through. Just comment and give it a like after the live stream is finished. Just get on there, Give it a like because it helps with the algorithms this morning. Yeah, there we are. The voice from above has come in and said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're watching this for the first time. Honest, it's been great having you on here this morning. Really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. But don't forget maybe just to subscribe and just comment as we go into Pete says good stuff again. Have a good weekend. Yeah, all of you have a great weekend. Be safe, and maybe we got a competition coming up. Maybe I can get something off a supplier, and let's see what we can do. Thank you all for joining this morning. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great having Matt on here this morning. I know it's good. It's been a good live stream because I don't actually want to go now. It's been great, but I've got to get back to the birthday girl. It's her birthday. If any of you want to send her an email wishing her a happy birthday, it's info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. One thing I never asked this morning, and I'm going to ask now because I ask every week, can you please, can you please sort of send me a picture of where you are? My number is, you can do it on WhatsApp if you've got it. It's 07795 595 994. I always ask for this every week because it's so good to see what people are doing, where you are and what you're doing. Send me a picture. It's 07795 595 994, or you can send a picture to info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. Thank you all for joining. Have a great weekend, and please be safe. And whatever you do, if it's worth doing, do it well. Take care. Bye-bye.